Hello, welcome to Monique's Ideas and More. That would be my name for a meanwhile. I'm still thinking what name I should put. But what today's video gonna be is about discipline and self-motivation. The reason I want to talk about it is because a lot of people struggle with discipline and self-motivation. Discipline is like you work hard, you keep on doing it without any procrastination and no laziness at all. You keep on doing it until you reach it. That's discipline. Self-motivation, it would be like believing in yourself that you can do it. You can do it. Even if it's impossible, you could try to do the possible. So first, I'm going to be talking about self-motivation. A lot of people, especially students, struggle a lot with self-motivation. The reason they struggle a lot is because by all the stuff they get, like all the homework, especially the chores they have outside from school. Life is hard. Outside or in school, it will be always hard, no matter what. But for one person to motivate themselves, they have to think of themselves that they could do it. They have to think of themselves positive. One way for self-motivation, like imagine a student is stuck with homework and they can get right to the point of what the assignment is trying to tell you. So you try, but it doesn't work. Your mind is starting to get all fuzzy and mad. But to be able to do it, you gotta calm yourself. You gotta have your mind at ease. Even if it's very hard, have your mind calm. And they say, and tell yourself, I can do this. Even if it's hard, I could still learn from it. If I make a mistake, at least I learn from my mistake. Things like that. It's hard to motivate yourself, but it's worth it. At the end, you will notice how much you have. You will level up from being depressed or very negative to being positive and very understanding. When it comes to self-motivation, you gotta put your mind into it. Put your mind saying, you can do this. Okay, like, I can do this. Put yourself in a mirror and say, you know what? I could do this. Who's gonna stop me? If another person could do it, why can I not? Why can I not? That's what you gotta tell yourself always, every single day, even when you wake up. Tell yourself, no matter what, I can do this. It may be hard, but at least I tried. By trying, next time I will do better. I will learn from my mistake. That's what you should do. That's the type of mind you should have to be able to step up from yourself. For one thing, I used to be a very negative person. Like in school, I would be very negative towards myself. Like whenever it comes to a problem, I'll be like, nah, I cannot do this. I'm useless. I don't have the same mind as the others have. My mind is dumb. My mind is weak. I used to think of myself like that. But now, when I start to realize it shouldn't be like that. You shouldn't think yourself negative. You should at least try to do it. when I started to get older, I started to see vlogs about people back then. They were all solely on themselves. But later on, when a challenge came to them, they tried to overcome it. And guess what? They did. It happened. All suddenly they overcome it. By me watching that, I started to do the same thing. A person told me, hey, wanna do a project together, and they speak for it? For me, it was like a big deal because I was very not a social person. I had social anxiety back then. But by watching those videos, it motivated me kind of. Like, it put my mind telling me, like, if they can, why can't I? So I tried to speak up for the project in front of people, a lot of people. I was very nervous. I'm a very stuttering person, that's one thing. So imagine, mostly I had social anxiety. Plus, I'm a very stuttering person. When I was speaking in front, I was very stuttering. But what I noticed is that students were actually listening to the words that I was saying, to the project that I made with my group. So by looking at the students actually listening to me, I started to feel a little more confident, and my stuttering was gone. It was gone. That's where I noticed I could do better. If I was able to manage to do that, if I was able to manage to speak in front of 20 kids, I could do better. I could speak to more people. So that's part of self-motivation that I notice. That's this part of self-motivation I got. Be confident. Confidence is a very important thing of you. Yeah, little by little, you start to get towards the things. So by overcoming my social anxiety, just by talking to people, a whole bunch of people in front of me, I started to get used to it little by little. Yeah, it was hard for me still. It was hard for me. Even when I went to store and had to talk with the cashier, I was still stuttering. I was very like a nervous person. So what I'm saying, if I was able to talk with a lot of people, like around 20 or 30 students in that classroom, you can too. It's not all about talking to people for self-motivation, like confidence. What's mostly about, it's you believing that you can do anything. Even if it's out of your league, you could believe yourself, like, I could do this. That's what the importance is. So when you start now, start thinking of yourself that you could do everything. You could do it. Don't think too highly of yourself. Like, say, I could do this. Like, I'm better than them. So, yeah, I could do it. I'm better than them. Don't think like that. Just think. Be humble. Be humble. Because it's good to be confident, but being too overly confident will just make everyone think you're just talking givers. Like, if you keep saying it to other people, yeah, I'm better, I could do this. Yeah, there's one thing to be overly confident or to be just confident. Overly confident, what I'm trying to say is when you start telling in front of people, like, I can do this, I'm way better than you, like, yeah, but I'm better than you. That's being overly too confident, and that makes people and mostly yourself believe you're just talking all gibberish. Like, it's not real. You're just saying that because basically you are not confident at all. Be humble. Be quiet. By being quiet, like telling yourself, not to everyone else, telling only yourself, saying, you know what? I can do this. No matter what the outcome is, I could try my best and make it happen. That's one thing you should do. Not telling it to random people, not telling it to a lot of in front of people. Tell that to yourself, only to yourself. Later on, you will start feeling much more confident towards yourself. You will start feeling much more self-motivated and say, I can do this. I will try my best on this assignment. Even if it's hard, I will try my best. I could do this exam. I studied a lot. I could try and do it. That's one thing you could do. That's one thing you should have in mind. Be confident. Be self-motivated and be positive. When you start little by little getting better at being positive, being self-motivated, people will see the difference in you. To be honest, there is the difference. It will show a lot of difference towards people because people also could see when you are not positive to yourself, when you are very negative towards yourself. People could see that. Trust me, because that happened to me. When I started to feel much more comfortable towards myself, when I started to feel much more positive towards myself, a lot of people have been asking me, like, you look much more brighter these days. I was like, wow, I have changed that much? Not surprising of me. I used to be a very negative person, but it's very good. So little by little, when you start to notice you're starting to be better, you're starting to be the better you. If you see someone who needs help, who was in this, who you were back then, try helping them. Try helping them. You know who's always going to be by your side? It will be God. God would always be by your side. Trust me. Back then, I believed in God, but I never talked to him. I never was that close of a bond with him. Until randomly a person came to me. He's now my best friend. He came to me and showed me and talked to me about Jesus. I was like, wow, yeah, all right. I didn't really focus back first. At first, I didn't really focus on what he was showing me. If people would be there in your life. There could be bad people in your life. There could be good people. Or people that would just be there for one day. But what matters is who you put in your life. For me, I used to have a lot of bad people in my life. Like, I used to think all about not good things. The type of friends that I was getting, I was trying to be just like them. Till I got into online school, I had to stop looking at my friends, my old friends. I had to stop talking to them. So I started to focus only in online school. That's where a person came to me in online school. Like, it wasn't in person, but it was in a computer. He, out of a sudden, I became very close to him, like my best friend. He's my best friend. He showed me the way of God. He showed me that I don't gotta work things out by myself. God will always be there. He died for our sins. Thanks to him, I started to be better. I'm just starting to get closer to God. To be honest, it hasn't been long since I've been doing that, but I'm very grateful that I got that friend who showed me who I could have faith in. Thanks to him. I'm very thankful for him. At first, when he was showing me about God, I was like, yeah, I do know. I believe he exists. But I wasn't very like that bonding. Like, I didn't have faith on him. But I noticed little by little, I don't know how, to be honest. I don't know how, but he made me put my mind in God. Out of nowhere, I went to my room and prayed. I prayed for God. Like, I never do it. I prayed for him, and I don't know, my life changed there. I prayed for him. I prayed and told him, I want to be better. I want to do better in life. And out of nowhere, my mind was starting to feel at peace. My mind was starting to feel much more positive. God really changed me a lot. And it's all thanks to my friend, my bestie. Thanks to God, I was able to meet my bestie. He showed me the way of God. Thanks to him. Amen. But that's all I want to talk about. Well, I noticed I couldn't get to the discipline parts, but at least I talked about self-motivation. Well, I'm glad I managed to make this video. It was very hard for me. I'm a very I'm not really the type of person towards cameras, but I'm glad. I hope you find this understanding, and yeah, there's a lot of talking, but yeah, that's all. That's the whole point of it. Okay, bye.